You have been asking for it, and I agree. I think it's time for another challenge.
Me too, because I want to beat the pants off of them.
No.
And what are we going to do? I mean,
What are we going to do?
I can help with that.
Ooh, keep watching.
Hi, it's Donna Robertson.
And Fran Morgan.
and John Nossel with Fabric Cafe.
This place is a blast to work at. We have so much fun, and we even get surprises, which we kind of like. And we are going to have another fabric challenge. And
I love these.
Yes, but we don't have a clue what. So let's have Hannah, our director, come in, and she's going to tell us what we are going to be doing.
All right. Hi, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Okay, hurry up. We're so excited. All we know is it's a challenge.
Yeah, and I'm really excited about this one. So we decided we wanted to really throw you guys some curveballs.
Oh, boy.
So this is going to be a timed fabric challenge today.
Okay.
But
okay.
all of you are really good at picking fabric and putting together kits, so it's going to be things in your comfort zone. We're just adding that little extra twist.
Okay.
First off, first part of the challenge, you guys are going to be picking a focus fabric for one other person at this table.
Okay.
But you
That's
don't
a
get
twist.
to pick. You have to pick it out of this mug.
Oh.
So, one at a time, we'll pass the mug down and you'll draw a name.
Okay.
But don't tell anyone who you pick.
What if I pick me?
You gotta put it back.
Oh.
You don't get to pick yourself.
That's the challenge.
Yeah.
Are we supposed to be making it hard for them?
You can make it as hard or easy as you want.
Love you, Mom.
Well, I love you too, John.
Yes. So, first off, we'll just do that. We'll pass
Okay.
the mug. Okay, Donna.
Okay. Let's see.
Kind of like when you're playing Clue.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. There's not that much to shake around. There's only two
No.
pieces left.
Okay.
Okay. Oh.
I get the last one, I guess.
Wow. I really thought we were going to have to redraw a couple
that.
times.
Oh, we didn't have to
Perfect.
redo it?
It's the same name in every.
Everyone gets the same person.
I bet
right.
not.
No. So now
Okay.
your first timed section.
Okay.
You guys will get 5 minutes to select your focus fabric for that person.
So we just
One focus fabric.
one focus fabric, and then
Then stop.
are we
go.
going
and
to
then
draw,
stop.
and then or do they have to match it up?
We'll get there next.
Oh,
You'll
she
explain
always
what we
makes
do.
me wait.
One thing at a time.
All right.
Anticipation.
Ready?
All right. And your
Okay.
time starts 5 minutes now.
Okay.
Focus fabric.
All right. Time is up. And it's time to reveal who they picked and what bolts they picked. So, first off, let's start. Donna, who did you get and what did you pick for them?
I got John,
Uh-huh.
and I picked this gorgeous fabric.
Ooh.
Now, one of the reasons I did was because the first thing I saw was this fruit. And one of the nice things about my son is that he likes to cook. And I remember one time he made these awesome pear tarts. They were so good. Anyway, I saw that and I thought of John, so I
Cool.
picked that out for you.
Perfect. Well,
That's
there are
gorgeous.
some pears in it, too.
Yeah, I love it. It's
Yeah.
even got a little gold metallic in it. and
know.
everything.
Yeah.
So pretty.
Oh.
Very cool.
All right. We'll
That's
pass
gonna
that
be
on
All right.
down.
Okay, John.
All right. Well, then we'll go. Just keep going down the line. Fran, who
Okay.
did you pick?
So I picked Mom.
Oh, wow.
And I so I
Okay.
wish I had this amazing story that I could say, but I think this is beautiful and I just love the colors.
That's as good a reason as any. I'm sure that's why a lot of our
it
pictures
kind of
get
actually made me think of the So Quick quilt with the daisies on it and how bright and bold the colors are.
yeah.
So I thought you tend to like to work with those kinds of bold colors, so I thought you would
Yes.
enjoy this one.
I do, and this is one of my favorite colors. I love royal blue. All
very
right.
pretty.
Good.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we're picking great ones right off the bat. You guys are getting lucky. All right, John.
Well, obviously, y'all know that I'm going to be doing Fran. So I picked Fran, this gorgeous Robert Kaufman fabric.
That is
And
rich.
I
It
love
is
this.
really rich.
It's got this gold metallic to it, kind of like my fruit does. And I know that your house has got all these great metallics in it. So I think that's a
does.
really fun challenge for you.
I love it. Glammy and traditional all together.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
I like it.
Yeah, you guys did a great job thinking about the person you were picking for. Very cool.
Awesome.
All right, well, the next part of your challenge, you will have 15 minutes to put together a kit using this as your focus, or whatever your focus was.
15 minutes, huh?
15 minutes. Also, one more twist. You will have to create another kit within that 15 minutes. But you get to pick all 3 fabrics.
Oh.
So you pick put together your own kit. So you get to work with a challenge, and then you get freedom.
Okay.
Can we steal theirs? No.
Afraid not. Now, your kits must have all 3 fabrics, focus, light, dark, and they must have a pattern and a name to go with it.
In 15 minutes.
In 15 minutes. Hey,
is a
what a challenge if we didn't, push
Okay,
it.
so we have to pick out the pattern too. Do you have all of our patterns in one spot for us? Oh, good.
Okay.
I'm not going to let you flounder
Oh, okay.
because we have a lot of patterns.
Well, I thought it'll take me 15 minutes just to get to
Okay.
shipping so I can get up there on the shelf and pick them up. All right, great. Okay.
All right. So,
right.
we all clear? We're good? All right.
Cool.
Then your time starts now.
All right.
All right. So when John pulled this fabric and showed it to me, I got pretty excited because it really is a gorgeous, rich jewel tone fabric.
The first thing I do is I look to see what color pops out at me, and I see that royal blue, and then I see the yellow. Those are the 2 that I see the most of.
Well, I think I'm going to be looking for some kind of a red matcher to go along with this, to be that number 3 fabric, that really darker fabric that we're going to have here.
We're getting close, guys. You are over halfway done. This is your 5-minute warning.
Now there's not a lot of color variance in this, so it's possibly what I'm thinking is putting a little bit of a contrast with it.
I like having either a mottled fabric or a small print for my light.
Golds that are in here, the kind of mustardy color, as being that middle fabric that I'm looking at.
Down to the last couple minutes. You have 2 minutes left to get your kits put together.
This is really going to be a delicious looking kit.
I'll have to be thinking about which pattern I'm going to put it in.
But one thing I know for sure, it's going to be dynamite.
All right, designers. And your time ends in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Designers, hands up. All right,
Be able to read
perfect.
my writing.
That's okay. I have chicken scratch drawing, so it's fine. Okay, well, how'd that go? Did you guys have fun?
It was fun.
Yeah.
Fun.
Good.
Definitely a
Except
challenge.
I'm really jealous because I saw that Fran picked her second kit and it was the fabric that I loved and I wanted to do it.
Well, all's fair in
Oh,
love
wow.
and challenges.
Yeah. That's okay, but I found some more fabric that I can fall in
yeah,
love.
there
I'm
you
kind
go.
of flighty. I just fall in love with all
We
fabric.
just love all fabric, really.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Well, the next thing is you guys are going to have to get them cut and pull some quilt examples.
Oh, wow.
So
Oh, wow.
we're going to take a break and we're going to go get that done. And we'll be back to show you the finished products of all of the different kits.
All right.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Hannah.
Yeah. All right. So we're back. You guys got your kits ready? Got your quilts pulled?
Yes.
All right.
Are the judges here?
Yes, so I'm very excited to tell you
right.
guys about our judges.
Okay.
So we really lucked out in getting them. I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to because they're in high demand, but they're experts in their field. They've made thousands of quilts of every different style.
Ooh, I got chill bumps.
And our judges, special guest judges for this video are you! You guys are our judges. Because who's better to judge than our awesome, awesome viewers? Because
No
you
one.
guys know so much about quilts and 3-yard quilts. So you got to let them know in the comments who you think won this competition. And without further ado, I'm going to duck out and go on that side of the camera so that we can get all of these quilts and kits going so you guys can see what they put together.
All right. Thank you, Hannah. What did you guys think about this? This was
Oh,
fun.
it was a lot of fun. I can't say
Really
I've
was.
ever done speed fabric matching before. So it was quite a challenge and very interesting how you kind of go with your first impulse whenever you do this because you don't have time to look and shop.
I was totally amazed that I could do it in 15 minutes.
That was kind of the biggest, tension thing for me was going, I've only got 15 minutes to do this? Oh no. So really getting down to what you said, Fran, of that first gut reaction that you had on a fabric is what I was seeing was happening with me.
All
So
right.
it was really cool.
Well, I'm ready to show the winning quilt.
Okay.
And you know
Tough
that
judges.
we do have a little competitive streak in us, but we also love each other a lot. So we promise not to be mean to each other. Or
That's right.
Not real mean. Okay, I get to go first?
Yes.
All right.
What is your first quilt?
My very first one, let me show you what we're, okay, now see, you got this fabric from me.
Yes.
Okay, so let me show you what I picked and
Okay.
we'll go over all the
All right,
fabric
awesome.
then. Okay, so this one is called Broad Strokes, and I selected the fabric that I selected, well, once Fran got me fabric and then I started picking out which pattern to put it with, I realized the techniques that need to be employed when you've got certain fabrics, because I picked the fabric out first and then I went, oh, I need a pattern. So I selected a pattern that had two areas that I could show off the kind of the focus fabric and a secondary fabric that had a lot of interest to it. So let's put that up here. And I think I've said this many times before, when you have two focus fabrics that are pretty busy, it's nice to put a strip in between them so that it kind of gives you a resting place in between. Now this was a very busy fabric, gorgeous, yellow and blue, and I've always liked yellow and blue, so I thought that was interesting that you picked that for me. It's going to go in the focus fabric, and then the number 2 fabric is going to go in this one right over here, and then the number 3 goes here. So there is interest in both of these pieces. It's like the little petals off of the flowers. But this one is, even though it's got the fabric with the flowers, it's going to come out to where it gives you that resting place with each of those fabrics.
Now your number 2 fabric, so this is your focus, and then your number 2 fabric goes in the little block here, and then
Right.
on the border. Okay,
Yeah.
that's going to be gorgeous.
It will be, and then you'll get a lot of that blue over here, but you'll just get a little smidge of the blue here
That is
will
awesome.
divide them up. So
You
I
did
think it comes
good.
out
That'll be
good.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Now this one is only available in the book Quilts on the Double, and it is kit number 8022053, Nature's Palette. So an alternate one that would work really well is the Brick Street, because Brick Street has that same kind of feel. It's just your blocks are going different ways, but you've got 2 big blocks of equal size that are going to show off the fabric really nicely.
Very nice.
Okay.
Very, very nice. Good
Very
job.
nice.
All right.
So what is your second one?
No, that one's yours. You get to go next.
Oh, I do get to go next. Okay.
You just wanted to see what I was doing.
I know, I was ready. So my quilt that I chose with my fabric that was chosen for me is Art Deco. And it's very interesting because the fabric to me, whenever John pulled it for me, gave a very specific feel. And I chose Art Deco especially because of this little block here. So let's put that on the table and I'll kind of show you what I did. So I kind of threw caution to the wind here. And John actually chose this fabric here for me, which is absolutely gorgeous.
It is great fabric.
Great choice, and I love that it has a little bit of metallic. Now I have chosen to put it in the fabric number 3 position, which is where the black is here and here, because I want it to really pop off the surface of this quilt. So I chose for my number 1 and my number 2 fabric 2 off-whites that have a nice metallic, different weights in prints. So basically what's going to happen is your number 1 fabric here will go here all the way around this with the beautiful jewel tone turquoise in the middle.
Oh, that's going to frame it nicely.
Very,
will.
very beautifully. And then the number 2 fabric will go in the alternate block here. And it will also have the number 3 jewel tone in the middle. So it'll really pop. I think it's going to be just this striking kind of modern look with our 2 off-white and gold with the number 3 as that gorgeous jewel tone.
Really rich.
And I think this is a really good example of showing off that you can put any fabric in any position.
That's right.
And that's a really neat way to be able to change it up.
That's a very good point. As long as you cut all the pieces from that position, you can definitely do that.
And you know what I thought while I was standing here is how, and listening to you, I thought, you know how often you get fabric and you feel like this fabric cost me so much that I'm afraid to work with it. But with 3-yard quilts, you can safely experiment without breaking the bank.
True.
Because it's only 3 yards of fabric. And so far, there have not been any that I've seen that didn't work out even when you start switching the positions around. It almost makes it look like a different pattern.
Absolutely.
So-
You know, we did a video on that. What was that called? Do you remember? Switch it up or
Switch it up, I think so. You're right, we have a video
it was kind
on
of
that.
cool
Yeah.
to see all the different things. So let's talk about the kit number on this one. It is 8022054. The name of the kit is Eastern Jewel, and we've used the Art Deco pattern in the Easy Does It book, and the alternate pattern that I selected is Jacob's Ladder.
That's neat.
Alrighty, so I'm excited
Okay.
about this one.
All
This
right.
is the fabric that Donna picked for me. And I chose to use the pattern called Crossroads. And this is a really neat one because it's got this nice big focus block in it. And then this cool little check pattern that we've got in this. So let's go ahead and put that up on the table and take a look at these fabrics. So as you remember early in the video, Donna had picked this one for me, and it's just this great with all these different fruits and not really vegetables, but fruits and all of these gorgeous little blossoms in it. And again, this is another really cool fabric because it does have a little bit of metallic in it, which is really a popular fabric style that we've got happening right now in the industry. So we're going to have this number 1 fabric with all these fruits and the flowers and everything. It's going to be in our great big block out here. And then our number 2 fabric is this really nice kind of really soft flowery print in this that's going to be in our background behind this and also out here on our border. And then our number 3 is this really neat kind of a mottled red fabric that's going to be out here on our border and giving us that really nice contrast within our secondary block within this fabric. So this is a really neat combination of fabrics. I think they're really going to like this one.
This is going to be stunning.
Yes, gorgeous.
So this one is called Garden Harvest, and it's 8022055, and we were showing the Crossroads pattern there. And we've got a great alternative because the Crossroads pattern is in our book Quilts in a Jiffy, and the alternative pattern for that is going to be Heartland.
Awesome.
And that's another really great combination of using those fabrics there.
Very nice, John.
Well, you know, in doing this competition, it brought to my mind another thing too, and that is which came first, the chicken or the egg? Or does the fabric come first or the pattern that I use come first? In the olden days, before 3-yard quilts, I remember going to the store with a pattern in hand.
Yes.
And
Right.
I was looking for fabric to make that pattern because I had fallen in love with that pattern. Now, you may not realize this, but we shop for fabric, and many, many times we have no idea which quilt we're going to put it in.
True.
So I learned that, I mean, well, I knew it, but I came aware of it yesterday that we were picking out fabric that we had purchased and knew no idea what we were going to do with it.
That's
Right.
very, very interesting how that has flip-flopped just a little bit.
I bet they have a stash like that.
They do too. I know I do.
Do our judges have a stash of fabric that they fell in love with but didn't know what to do with it? And 3-yard quilts solve that for you because you can pick different patterns according to the fabric that you've. Okay, enough of my
Enough of that.
proselytizing for 3-yard quilts. This is Gallery, and Gallery is the next one that I picked. And this is an example of that. So I'm going to talk about that. We'll put it up on the table. because this fabric just came in about a week ago, and
This is
I
cool
loved
fabric.
it. And I bought it. I mean, I ordered it, but I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I just thought it was pretty. In fact, I think we have it in about 10 different colors.
Okay, so now this is your secondary kit that you pulled within our time frame.
Right.
Okay.
You didn't pick it for me. John didn't pick it for me. I
Right.
picked it for myself because I fell in love with it when I saw it and ordered it. But this is what's interesting. When I picked it off of the shelf, I thought, I'm going to use attraction with this one. But after I looked at attraction, I thought, no, I think it's going to cut up the stripe because it's a subtle stripe. But I felt like it was going to cut up the stripe and make it mix in a way that I didn't want to happen.
Very
With
interesting.
gallery, you don't have that issue. So if you've got stripes butting up against each other like you would in attraction, you might want to avoid using that and just use a mottled fabric or a floral or something where you're not going to see stripes going all different ways and you're trying to figure out which way.
Right.
So I went from picking out attraction and thinking I was going to do attraction to picking out gallery because I thought it would work better with the fabric.
Makes
So-
sense.
That's a great tip.
Yeah.
I've made gallery with stripes many times and I like it a lot, but this is the number one. It's going to go in this number one spot. It will also go on the border. So your stripe is going to go out this way. Now when you're making gallery, the only thing that you really need to do is make sure that your stripes are going up and down like this, which will automatically happen when you're making a 3-yard quilt if you cut your strips the way we tell you to cut them. So this is your number one fabric. The number two is this creamy white, and that's going to go here, and that's the background to really show off your design. And then the number three is going to have stripes going like this, and then it's going to go like that, but it's so evenly spaced on the quilt, it just will look exactly like you want it to look whenever it comes out, and you're not going to have that issue where some things could be going in a way that you don't like. So voila! A
That's
neat
great.
thing that I kind of came to the conclusion
That is
about
very
it.
cool.
So when you've got the big stash of fabric and you don't know what to do with it, you can turn to your 3-yard quilts because they're easy to do. This is 8022056, and this is called Decidedly Modern, and it's gallery pattern, and the book is Modern Views. So,
And I want to mention something too. So part of our challenge that Hannah gave us was naming our kits.
Oh.
And I think you did a really good job.
oh, thank you. Well, it was fun to do that too. I would say 99% of the time that Hannah names them.
But hey, good job.
Yeah.
I like that name.
That's cool.
Yeah, I thought, well, this is definitely a modern-looking quilt.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Fran.
You're welcome. Okay, so for my quilt kit that I picked as my secondary, no one chose the fabric for me, is this one with this really fun kind of floral here. It kind of reminds me of a Queen Anne's lace or something like that. And surprisingly, Mom and I actually picked the same pattern for our quilt kit, which is gallery. So now we did not know what each other chose, but
right.
I thought, same thing, that because I'm going to be pulling a stripe with my kit, that gallery's just perfect for stripes. So it works really well. So my number one fabric is this really fun, brightly colored floral, and it will go on the border, and then it will go in the little square here. Now my number two fabric is this awesome blue, and I kind of liked it because it mimicked the kind of burst that the flower had.
That's very cool.
And I also picked a little bit darker than the focal fabric, so it would frame that focus fabric. So that's the reason why I went a little bit darker on that and not did a really light, so that it really gave that framing. And then my number three is this gorgeous stripe. Doesn't that just look so great together? And it's like almost like a watercolor stripe or something that just has this softness to it. It's a stripe, but it's very soft. And that will go here, here, and border all of these. So I think it's just going to look fantastic.
Can I make a comment?
Yes.
Okay, this is funny because when we only had 15 minutes and I was a little concerned about how much time I was going to take looking for things, I walked right straight to this one because I thought it was so pretty also.
gorgeous.
And but when I started looking for something to go with it, I was afraid I wasn't going to find it in 15 minutes. So I put it back. And it wasn't but moments later that Fran went over and got it. So I thought that was interesting that we both, but you did it because I was not seeing the colors that or the types of fabric that I wanted, and you got that one.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I really love this one. So the name on this one is Rainbows in the Breeze, and the number is 8022057. And I chose the gallery pattern from the Modern Views, and it's also available as an individual.
Love it.
That's great.
We have so little competition between us, don't we?
So this is
fair.
the kind of the free pick that I was able to do was one called Roman Holiday, and I really love this one because this one allows us to really have a lot of contrast in it with the big block and then this really neat secondary block. So let's put that up on the table and show you what I ran across whenever we were pulling the stash together. You know, being that I'm a guy, you know, I'm really attracted to cars and motorcycles and all of these guy things. And I walked over and saw this fabric that had these license plates on them. And I just thought that's so cool because I actually have a clock in my office that has pieces of license plate on it. And it's just a really cool thing. So I thought this is a great one. And by the way, there's a secret about this fabric. If you look at the license plates, they have fabric and quilting related states on them instead of the actual state names. So when you buy this one, because you love it, you know, check that out. It's really cool.
And you can give it to a man that doesn't quilt, and he probably won't ever notice.
He won't even notice it. Unless he's like me going like, oh, what states do they have in there? Hey, that's not a state. But
what is the state?
The state of being.
Oh, here's one, the state of woven.
Yeah, woven, what else?
Sewing.
Fabric. I mean, there's just some really cute states in there.
That is neat.
And you'll even find the manufacturer's name on that. It's pretty cute.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, our number one fabric of the license plates are going to be in this big block out here. And so it's going to be just really cool to have all of those license plates out on there. And then our number two fabric is this really kind of, I almost think of that kind of like a modern yet kind of trendy retro style. Will be in here as our number two fabric, and that's going to be everywhere we see the lighter fabric in here. So that's going to give us that contrast in there, which is really an important thing with our 3-yard quilt designs. And then our number three is going to be same style, different color wave on this. That's going to be giving us that contrast in there. So we'll have that really nice contrast, and it really complements nicely with the license plates on this. So this was a fun little pick that I put together as my kind of a free pick there. And this one is called License to Thrill. I mean, because what guy doesn't get thrilled about seeing old stuff about cars and motorcycles and stuff? So License to Thrill, that number is 8022058. And Roman Holiday is the primary pattern that I chose, and that's out of Quick as a Wink. And our alternate would be Portrails. And this is another great one because we'd be able to get really nice contrast in it and be able to have these really pop in that.
Wow. Well,
Very good.
you know, I think we all three did really well. It's okay if you want to vote for me, though.
Well, you know.
So
Or either one of my awesome kids.
So the judges, you know, have got your work cut out for you. I mean, you know, it's time to start figuring out what you really like here and which one you're going to buy.
That's right.
I agree.
Well, if you have a stash like we have a stash and you're ready to bust it, the way to do that is with 3-yard quilts. Because every one of our books has 8 patterns, and every pattern is written for 3 sizes. We have the twin and the king queen and the lap. The lap takes 1 3-yard bundle. The twin takes 2 3-yard bundles, and the king queen makes 4 3-yard bundles. So really cool thing is you can go into that room with all of that fabric and you look for the things that will go together, and you'll be able to make any one of those. We've got a great book deal that is the whole bundle of books. If you would like to check that out, it's one low price and it is free shipping.
That's great. And when you choose my kits, you know, go ahead and buy 4 for the king size.
I have a feeling these are going to go fast because we might not have a whole lot of yardage available.
Oh.
We try to get as much as we can, but don't waste any time.
Yeah, and definitely the license to thrill would be great as a twin size so that he can sit there and cover up while he's watching the ball game.
And if he gets tired in the Super Bowl commercials or something like that, he can read.
That's right.
Yeah, no competition here.
None whatsoever. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you've enjoyed this show, we've got many more fun things in store for you in the future. So
It's Fran Morgan.
And John Nossel.
subscribe and like and comment.
Click the
And
bell.
Donna Robertson. See you next time.
Bye-bye.